The most crucial aspect of preparing a research paper is citing your sources, whether they are primary versus secondary sources. Do you truly comprehend the difference between primary and secondary sources? The capacity to discern between primary and secondary source material is crucial for study in both the arts and the sciences. Primary sources offer unfiltered data and first-hand proof. Transcripts from interviews, numerical data, and artistic creations are a few examples. Secondary sources provide data and analysis that other academics have used before, scholarly writings, book reviews, and journal articles. A secondary source of information might develop into a primary source depending on the topic of your inquiry. Primary sources are current, which is their fundamental distinction from secondary ones. There are a few straightforward questions you may ask yourself to decide whether something can be utilized as a primary or secondary source in your study. Is this source a primary source, someone who actively took part in the events you're researching, or a secondary source, another researcher? Does the source offer unique, first-hand knowledge, or does it only offer secondary analysis of material from other sources? Contact a faculty or a mentor in your subject of study for the best advice on using primary and secondary materials. Asking, "What is this about?" can help you determine if a source is primary or secondary in the easiest way possible. Think about reviewing the books they brought. Although secondary sources demonstrate how your work connects to earlier research, primary sources are more reliable as proof. While conducting a research study or systematic review, you may employ secondary sources to get a thorough picture of your issue. Primary sources are employed in all academic fields to provide research credibility and authority. You should credit the source explicitly if you wish to refer to a paper or research mentioned in a secondary source. It will be easier for you to discern between primary and secondary sources once you have a firm understanding of the concept. Please get in touch with a citation library if you have any queries regarding using primary and secondary materials. To prevent plagiarism, remember that all primary and secondary sources must be referenced. If you need assistance distinguishing between primary and secondary sources, get in touch with Takenlin Class Help and ask one of our qualified specialists.